All right, so you've been digging deep into ancient Rome. And, oh, let's face it, Roman emperors, empires, things can get a little wild.
Yeah.
And we're here to help you sift through all that historical rubble and unearth the most fascinating bits, especially some recent theories that might just make you rethink everything you thought you knew. So with us today, we have an expert in all things ancient Rome
Happy to be here.
who can help us separate fact from fiction
Yeah.
and just delve into the fascinating and sometimes disturbing reality of Roman life. So where do we even begin? Well, how about with a bit of Hollywood intrigue?
Yeah.
Director Ridley Scott, the mastermind behind the original Gladiators, back with a sequel, Gladiator II.
Yeah.
And get this, he's got a theory about those Roman emperors and their, let's just say, unique personalities.
Right.
He's pointing the finger at lead pipes.
Interesting.
Now, before we jump into accusations, let's set the stage a little bit.
Yeah.
We know those Romans loved their luxuries. And for centuries, their elaborate water systems relied heavily on lead pipes and tanks. What they didn't know, however, was that this seemingly advanced plumbing was slowly poisoning them. And Scott doesn't mince words. He's calling these emperors crazy halfway to Alzheimer's.
Wow.
He's convinced the lead was a major factor in their erratic behavior. So is there any scientific weight to these bold claims?
Well, it's certainly a thought-provoking theory. We know that lead poisoning can lead to a whole host of problems, including gout, which, for those unfamiliar, is a form of inflammatory arthritis that can be excruciatingly painful.
Ouch, I can only imagine. I wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of an emperor suffering from gout.
Exactly. But beyond just the physical symptoms, lead poisoning also has significant neurological effects. Depression, irritability, memory problems, all of these have been linked to lead exposure. So while Scott might be using some, colorful language, there could very well be some truth to his claims.
It's mind-boggling to think that their quest for luxury might have inadvertently led to their downfall. But hold on a second. Weren't the Romans exposed to lead in other ways too?
Absolutely. It wasn't just the water. Lead was surprisingly prevalent in their daily lives. They used it in cookware, and believe it or not, even to sweeten wine.
Wait, they actually used lead to sweeten their wine. Now that's truly alarming. It seems like they were ingesting this toxic substance in almost every aspect of their lives. But how much lead are we actually talking about here?
Well, a 2014 archaeological study revealed some pretty shocking results. Roman piped water, the very water that flowed through their homes and public fountains, had 100 times more lead than natural spring water.
100 times. That's just,
Wow.
wow. It really makes you wonder how such widespread lead poisoning might have affected Roman society as a whole. Did it play a role in their decision-making processes, their military prowess, or even their artistic and literary expressions?
That's a fascinating area of study. And there's actually a theory that lead poisoning contributed to the decline of the Roman Empire itself. In 1983, scientist Jerome Naragu proposed this idea, and it sparked a lot of debate.
Right, I remember reading about that. But it's still a contested theory, isn't it?
Exactly. History is a constantly evolving field, with new discoveries and interpretations always emerging. While some historians point to the societal impact of lead poisoning, others argue that it wasn't the sole or even primary factor in Rome's decline. There were complex political, economic, and social forces at play.
It's like a historical jigsaw puzzle, with each piece adding a new layer to the picture. Speaking of piecing things together, this whole discussion about lead poisoning and its potential impact on Roman emperors has got me thinking about how it's portrayed in popular culture. And of course, we can't talk about that without mentioning Gladiator II.
Right.
It seems like the film is generating quite a buzz, but the reviews are, well, let's just say they're a mixed bag. Some critics are praising it as a visual spectacle, while others are calling it a complete disaster.
Oh.
The Independent, for instance, published two starkly contrasting reviews. One hailed it as equal in scale and spectacle to the original, while the other slammed it as an awful mess. So the question is, will you be watching Gladiator II to see this lead-fueled Roman drama play out on the big screen? Now, before we wrap up our deep dive into this fascinating chapter of Roman history, I want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. If lead poisoning truly affected Roman emperors as profoundly as some believe, how might the course of history have been altered? Would the empire have flourished longer? Would its legacy be different? It's a tantalizing what-if that speaks to the enduring power of history to captivate and intrigue us. We encourage you to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep unearthing those hidden gems of the past. You never know what remarkable insights you might discover. And a huge thank you to our expert for guiding us through this captivating journey through ancient Rome.
It's been my pleasure. Always happy to delve into the mysteries of the past.